Can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. Have those videos where he watches, where he opens the case up. Yeah.
You know, he got the latest watch, latest car, and look what I just bought.
You get into latest watches and latest cars. You get into that boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bodies are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million.
Is they wind up going broke at a certain point, right? So first of all, taxes, child support, all that kind of stuff, that promoters, this and that, and then just the way you spend your money could be bad and try to do the right thing, and wind up with bad investments. You could just spend too much. And the thing is, if you're not the best in the world anymore, but you're one of, let's say, 50 best in the world at what you do in your weight class, still hard to tell that dude you can make $100 million. No, don't do that because you're old.
Right.
Why would he not do that?
If you have the right money behind it and the right promotion behind it and the right kind of commercials behind anything or any 1 and 2 star. So it's basically you're just choosing to do what you want to do. Mayweather and Pacquiao. I think it can be done in a way where people are going to be curious enough to watch it. And you guys were just talking about it. It's on Netflix. It's not necessarily behind the paywall aside from unless you don't have a Netflix subscription, but.
Terence Crawford calls out Floyd Mayweather regarding his reported $100 million demand for a fight with Manny Pacquiao. He points out that although Mayweather earned massive amounts of money in the past, his current financial situation appears to be declining.
He broke the bank, and I don't see him trying to, give the game to the young fighters because he's a promoter now.
Yeah.
So I can't give everybody the game. Yeah. It's a business at the end of the day. So if they made all this money, on our backs as fighters, and now I'm a promoter, I'm gonna do the same thing that they once was doing. And just say it's just the game of the business.
It's the game.
At around the 2-minute mark, Max Kellerman explains that boxers often prioritize high earnings because the sport doesn't guarantee financial stability over time. Once their careers are finished, there is minimal support available, leaving them responsible for taking care of themselves moving forward.
With the 3 fights that's coming up, Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, I think the guy's from Greece or something like that. What do you feel about great champions doing these kind of fights as well, or just these kind of fights that's going on?
They need money.
Damn.
Yeah, when you need money, this is the problem with boxing. You think about financial literacy, right? And you talk about like NFL players or NBA players. There's support systems for those dudes. There's nothing like that for fighters. They got to figure it out all themselves. And if you're a fighter, that means you did not have options.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like basketball or football. If you could, by the way, football players couldn't play basketball or they play basketball. It's a better deal, right? That's if you can, you do. And boxers couldn't do either one of those things, right? They're too small or they got hurt, whatever it is. And so you're dealing with a section of our world that is unlike.
Tasha K points out that when individuals run into financial difficulties, they often begin taking legal action against companies over alleged unpaid funds. And she states that Floyd Mayweather is currently filing a lawsuit against Showtime over such claims.
Bills is due, but you done spent everything on stuff you ain't supposed to have, and now you really need something, so you get ready to go to Walmart, right? And you got $132 in your bank account, all right? We all done been there, and you need food, the light bill due tomorrow, they're gonna cut it off, and you got $132 to your name. And so then you start to search like, well, what happened to the money? You start to go look at your bank account. You start to go, you start to get a little bit, I could take this rice, the beans, this, and then when you get up to the counter, you hoping that something else ain't hit your account. That's made it less, because it can say 132, but then you got them pending transactions that come in that hit you. That's definitely gonna put you in overdrive. You don't really start blaming or start realizing you broke until money get low, and that's when you go send people to look for where.
At about the 4-minute mark, Jim Lampley shares his disappointment over Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather stepping back into the ring, explaining that when iconic fighters return at a later stage in their careers, it is often driven largely by financial motives.
Does Manny, or I will understand Manny, does it make me happy? It's not really my business. It's their business.
You called what was still
the most successful fight in boxing history, which was Mayweather-Pacquiao. I've never been a part of a buildup like that, where every mainstream outlet that maybe had abandoned boxing over the years came roaring back. I mean, it was massive. And then the fight happens and we don't get what we hope for. What did you come away from that fight feeling? What did you think of how that whole thing played out?
Well, I want to start this by saying that I like Floyd. I get along with Floyd. I'm happy for Floyd that he was the first great social media master who demonstrated what the power of social media could be, how an event could be sold on social media.
Around 5.5 minutes in, Jeff Mayweather suggests that a rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao could have taken place sooner. He adds that at this point, the bout appears to be motivated primarily by financial gain.
I mean, that's a fight that basically, it's a cash grab for both of them.
You said it's a cash grab. I know he's had
so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. If you created a name and you made a name, why not get paid for it?
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you. Do you feel that that's what the comeback announcement is as well? Is just kind of like because I know he's suing Showtime for money he thought he thinks he's owed. Is it just kind of like we need an influx of money, you think?
I mean, I don't really know, and I'm not really going to say anything that I don't know. So, I mean, that part I'm not going to even talk about. It's just the fact that, to me, I looked at it, and I seen the same thing that everybody else seen. So, I mean, and I've never talked to him about it, so I can't really give nobody no answer.
Floyd Mayweather, once famously known as Money Mayweather, now seems caught in a maze of financial difficulties. Even though his career reportedly brought in over $1 billion, he appears to be dealing with debt, back taxes, and outstanding payments. Recent videos show him promoting alcohol in a way that seems uneasy, almost as if he's putting on a forced smile under heavy financial pressure. His social media updates and public appearances suggest he's struggling with responsibilities that far exceed the wealthy image he projects.
He needs it more than wants it, because you see right here, Floyd Mayweather very vocally has never had a drop of alcohol in his fucking life, is out here promoting alcohol. That's how you know this dude's fucking broke as hell and swimming in debt, because he's posting shit like this.
We are back. Money Mayweather and Beluga, we are back. It's a special day, Valentine's Day. Toast to the ones that we love.
Does he not look like he's a hostage right here? Look.
Happy Valentine's Day and cheers.
I look at the look on his face and I can't tell if he's being held at gunpoint while doing this because he owes somebody money, or if he's just looking like that because he's really confused and struggling trying to read the script for this ad. Sorry, that's...
Even while headlining new exhibition bouts, the bigger story appears to be financial mismanagement. Ongoing lawsuits, unpaid taxes, and a return to the ring at 48 all point to money concerns influencing choices that once seemed purely tactical. When compared to peers like Mike Tyson, who spent $500 million, yet retained significant assets, Floyd's situation stands out as puzzling. Although his fight purses and endorsement deals were massive, they haven't protected him from mounting debt. The contrast is striking. A fighter who once showcased immense wealth now seems financially constrained, depending on high-profile appearances to stay afloat. It serves as a reminder that even legendary earnings cannot ensure long-term financial stability when expenses and obligations escalate unchecked.
The way Floyd Mayweather gives a fuck about any of that, bro. He's like, you said how much? How much is the check? You said I got to talk for 12 seconds. All I got to say is I'm the voice for them, and y'all are going to give me 15 million? Like that. That's the type of stuff that Floyd Mayweather does. And Conor was calling this out quite a long time ago, even back when they were promoting Mayweather versus McGregor.
Floyd not taking out his own yet? So Floyd got the money and he got tax problems.
And Conor also called it out right here as well.
And they said, I'm the motherfucker that can't read. Bitch, I do numbers. I make money. You know my middle name. You owe money.
So Conor was on this 10 years ago. I think 2017 was 2016, 2017. So Conor's been on this for.
Tasha K points out that even when Floyd Mayweather seems to possess enormous wealth, hidden liabilities and pending financial obligations can push anyone into serious strain. His situation illustrates the familiar trap of spending freely while debts quietly accumulate. Years ago, reports indicated he was detained in Dubai until outstanding payments were settled, showing that even elite athletes can be caught off guard by financial responsibilities. Mismanagement by trusted associates, including his manager, worsened the problem, with large sums disappearing before Floyd could track them, despite earning billions. He now faces lawsuits and unpaid expenses, including more than $330,000 in rent for a luxury Manhattan apartment. His daughter was even advised to start earning, signaling tighter finances. Despite projecting an image of immense wealth, Floyd's reality is a complex tangle of debts, missed payments, and ongoing financial disputes, demonstrating that appearances of fortune can be deceiving.
See somebody like Floyd Mayweather, that's the oldest trick in the book, y'all. Y'all know, when y'all see somebody flogging money everywhere, they got this, they got that, they got this. Was it Gervonta Davis? Tank told us 2 years ago that the reason they held Floyd Mayweather, you can put it back on the screen, captive in Dubai is because he had owed them money and they wouldn't release him until he announced the fight to give them their money back. You know they do that over there in Dubai, right? You ain't going nowhere if you owe a debt. He was trapped over there for almost 2 months, according to Gervonta. They shared the same manager, Al Layman, who collected money in cash because Floyd Mayweather gave him a power of attorney to do so. And so when Floyd went down there and sued Showtime, he's suing Showtime, the company, the network, that publicizes these fights.
Max Kellerman points out that many boxers face financial difficulties because their careers are short and unpredictable. Factors like injuries or being undersized can limit how much they earn, and without proper guidance or support systems, even highly skilled fighters often run into money problems. He highlights that taxes, child support, and poor spending habits play a significant role, while failed investments and lavish lifestyles can make matters worse. Even top athletes in their weight class may struggle to command massive paydays, such as $100 million, once their prime years are behind them. Kellerman stresses that this is a common issue, with most fighters encountering financial instability at some point, underscoring the need for careful planning and management throughout a boxing career.
End up with bad investments. You could just spend too much. And the thing is, if you're not the best in the world anymore, but you're one of, let's say, the 50 best in the world at what you do in your weight class, still hard to tell that dude you can make $100 million. No, don't do that because you're old.
Right.
Why would he not do that?
Do you think, and when I look at these fights that's coming up, do it take away from boxing for you when you see these fights being announced?
No, not. I mean, what it just demonstrates that boxing has not produced new characters that you know, whose stories people really want to follow. If we were producing those guys, and hopefully we will now with Zuffa, there'd be less interest in the kind of sideshow fights or the senior tour type fights,
right?
Because we'd be invested in new characters. We haven't had characters that have captured the public's imagination because people don't know.
Jazz Mather highlights that both fighters maintain exceptional discipline, carefully caring for their bodies and following rigorous, consistent training routines. He mentions that he personally exercises almost every day, including basketball, which helps him feel youthful and capable of performing at the highest level. This match is the first boxing event held at the Sphere, a venue previously known for concerts, and organizing it required precise planning, the right team, and perfect timing. Mather also emphasizes the impact of a global platform like Netflix, which enables hundreds of millions of viewers to watch the event and opens new opportunities for the sport.
He's Sylvan fighter, so him and me, we taking care of our body, and we always work out almost every day and playing basketball like that. So right now, I still can fight. I feel like I'm still young. I mean,
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Jazz, this event is going to mark the first boxing match at the Sphere. We've been there, we've seen concerts there, but how did this come to be?
This was a lot of work. Took a lot of time. I mean, many tried and many, I wouldn't say failed, but planted seeds. It just took the right time and, having the right team in place to be able to get it done, right? It's really a timing thing and all the right people involved.
Manny Pacquiao's recent comeback to the ring sparked a competitive response from Floyd Mayweather, showcasing the ambition and elite status of both fighters whose careers have left a lasting mark on boxing. When discussing challenges, Mather notes that difficulties often come from individuals putting their own interests ahead of the fighter's goals, and that having too many middlemen can make negotiations more complex. In celebration of Floyd's 49th birthday, Manny extends wishes for health and blessings, reflecting mutual respect as the fight preparations move forward. Mayweather vs. Pacquiao 2 is shaping up to be a historic event, bringing together two iconic champions on an unprecedented Las Vegas stage.
Manny came out of retirement. He did a return pro fight of last year. Obviously, Floyd sees that. Floyd's very competitive. He wants the same thing. He feels he can come in, he can do the same thing, and why not give it that chance? They're both the best in the game. They're both world renowned, and the sport would not be what it is without them.
I think that's fair to say, given their stature, for sure. Jazz, quickly, I want to ask you the biggest impediment to getting this done, because it sounds like Manny's wanted to have a rematch over these last 11 years. What's been the biggest barrier, the biggest hurdle you've had to overcome?
The biggest barrier would be, I would just say, there's people in the way that just don't present either the deal the right way, or just are not able to get it closed. A lot of times people will look after themselves rather than look after the fight.
Wade Plemons explains that Floyd Mayweather's recent fights, including exhibitions against Mike Tyson and the upcoming match with Manny Pacquiao, are largely driven by financial considerations. Even as one of boxing's all-time greats, Floyd is reportedly missing hundreds of millions of dollars and has years of unpaid taxes, making these high-profile bouts more than just sporting events. They serve as a way to recoup finances. Plemons also highlights that capitalizing on Floyd's perfect 50-0 record and pairing him with globally recognized names like Manny Pacquiao generates enormous pay-per-view interest and revenue, especially with major platforms like Netflix promoting the matches.
Way with that when you do exhibitions. And again, Floyd fighting in his exhibition versus Mike Tyson in the Congo to get ready for this. That's on April 25th. And like we saw a second ago, Manny takes his on April 18th from the Thomas and Mack Arena in Vegas. So this must have been planned in the works before they even announced the exhibition fights, right? And again, Floyd's got a tough one. Ruslan is a former world champion. It's a 10-round welterweight fight. That's not the same exhibition that Floyd is doing. They don't even have rounds yet for the Floyd and Mike Tyson deal. Minutes, none of that. This is a 10-round exhibition, but it's a fight because Ruslan's a bad mother. But this was all it had to have been set up, put in play for those two to come together in September. They needed a tune-up fight for each of them. That wasn't going to count against them on their records. Hopefully no one gets knocked out in those two exhibitions.
He also points out that casual viewers aren't concerned with age or competitiveness. They want to watch iconic names in action. Even though Floyd is 49 and Manny is 47, fans are drawn by the star power alone, making these bouts highly profitable. Plemons stresses that following exhibitions like the Mike Tyson fight with a matchup against Manny Pacquiao is a deliberate strategy to maximize earnings by leveraging fame, reputation, and media exposure. The mix of legendary legacies and financial motivation helps explain why Floyd keeps returning to the ring, showing that even the richest athletes can face money pressures that influence their career choices.
Two of the best of all time, they could probably avoid it. Then they come out in September and have one final go at it. I told you guys, Floyd is going broke, and there's no other clear explanation other than, we can look through the court documents of him versus Showtime, but missing $340 million, being years and years behind on his taxes, that's clearly the motivation for this. And because Floyd, obviously, he is one of the best of all time, so if he still can do it, do it. But Mike Tyson, followed by Manny Pacquiao, will get you out of a lot of financial bad situations and bad decision making. So this is why I think Floyd is doing this more than anything else, leveraging his 50-0 career, because that will bring in the viewership. And Netflix being the partner here, this, I don't know if it's going to approach it. But if there was to beat Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul on Netflix, seeing as, again, it was ago, but 4.2 million pay-per-view buys, and seeing as the casual audience doesn't really get.
Paulie Malignaggi views the upcoming Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight mainly as a lucrative opportunity rather than a strictly competitive sporting event. He points out that their first encounter in 2015, while historic, often felt more like a spectacle than an intense fight, leaving fans craving more excitement. This new matchup, he suggests, follows a similar approach aimed at drawing attention, generating massive revenue, and capitalizing on the legendary status of both fighters. Malignaggi stresses that financial motives are a major factor in these events, and despite the fighters' age, their fame and recognition make it a profitable venture for everyone involved.
One was also a little bit too late, and they didn't really fight with that passion and fire. It was more like, I'll dance, you dance, and if nobody gets hurt, we both win, you know? And that's not really what fans want to see. Having said that, the first time around was for the championship of the world. Floyd was champion. Pacquiao was challenging him. I think Floyd had the WBC title at the time, so on and so forth. And you know what I say about. And at the time, it was still a fight that was viable within the whole world landscape of the welterweight division. This time around, it's not really a viable fight within the landscape of the welterweight division. But it's like I always complain about Canelo. As long as you don't take the belts with you and hold them hostage, and the sanctioning bodies allow you to hold them hostage, I don't mind guys doing this kind of thing. Let's face it. Is it the only time we've seen this? We've seen this time and again. I mean, Leonard did the third fight with Duran and Hearns in 1989, 8 years after everybody wanted it. Pull up to the arena together.
This is entertainment, let's get cameras with them the whole time. Someone in the back, just the whole way up.
Well, when you look at
that's going to be more fun than the fight. I'm telling you right now.
The build now, a question I have too. We've seen it in previous Netflix cards, not all of them, of course. MVP Promotions, Jake Paul has done some Netflix cards. The card around this, does that, Paulie? When you look at the spectacle that will be, Mayweather versus Pacquiao too, you could put a great card underneath this and really get some shine on some fighters that maybe need the exposure. What do you think is going to be done? Or this would sell all by itself. You don't need to spend any more money. What you thought on the card around this, Paulie? What do you think we're going to see?
I'm hearing.
Please.
Because I looked into it obviously already.
Right.
So I was trying to see if there's space for me. I'm hearing that there's they're gonna have their own stable of guys. Maybe the Manny's son could be on the undercard.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that. I'm hearing that they're gonna each have a piece of the undercard for themselves and their own.
That wraps up today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one.